Hello, good morning, everyone. And for those who are watching us from a different time zone, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you may be. And for those who are watching us for the first time, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Marilyn. I'm the founder and CEO of Customized Training Solutions Private Limited, or CTS. And we are Asia's most trusted training and business solutions partner. And so this is something that we create on a regular basis as we create programs that adds value and impact for leaders to stay relevant, adapt to the next normal, and ensure performance of a hybrid team. And today, it's my great pleasure to introduce and to be blessed by Miss Bless Baluyot. She's an HROD professional with over 20 years of experience in HR functions, including hiring, talent management, and employee relations. She's also a content marketing specialist passionate about amplifying brand visibility and engaging customers. And the reason why I met her and I knew her I had this opportunity today is because she's also the organizer of the prestigious Top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn initiative dedicated to helping C-levels, coaches, and entrepreneurs to achieve professional growth and maximize results. So without so much further ado, I'd like to invite Miss Bless. Hi, Miss Bless.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Hi, Miss Len.
Good morning. Thank you for blessing us with your presence today, Miss Bless.
Thank you very much for inviting me as well. This is really, I don't know what to say.
It's my pleasure to have you today. So let's just get started. I mean, you have a wide experience on HR, and like myself, we do like several things in the marketing space as well as in HROD, which is very
Yeah.
interesting, right? So
Yeah.
I'm excited to learn from you today because your experience is more on HR and doing marketing now, while mine is more on sales and marketing, doing or working with a lot of HR nowadays. So I'm excited to learn from you today. So to start with, I mean, I have introduced you briefly. Is there anything more that you want to add in terms of who you are, what you do, your experience around leadership and transformation, and those 20 years that I've mentioned as well? Please do so.
I think it's more of really part of organizing the top Filipinos, the top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn. That's one.
Mhm,
And then also assisting with regard to the most influential women on LinkedIn. So there are two
mhm,
different avenues or areas where we help with regard to the LinkedIn community. So
mhm.
basically that's it. And there's really a lot of things going on with those two advocacies.
Right.
And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So, yeah, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I mean, right now I know that you're focused on that, and that's a lot of work. So, hats off to you for doing that. I know that's a volunteer work, right? Um, so, thank you so much for all your effort and for recognizing not only Filipinos, but everyone who's on LinkedIn from around the world who has been contributing to hopefully add value to the people or to the community within the LinkedIn, right, space or platform. So thank you for that. So I'm just curious to know, who are your influencers? What is your favorite leadership style, if you have any, that leads you how you define what leadership is for you, right? So feel free to share with us your influencer or styles if you have anything specific.
Okay. For the local, it would definitely be Miss Virginia Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
She's really a transformational leader and she really advocates and really shares the transformational leadership amongst the team that we had when she was okay, when she was well. And then she really inspires my, yeah, go ahead.
No, no, I please go ahead. I'm just clear.
So she really inspired and motivated the entire team to achieve exceptional results. And she really sets high standards, um, encourage motivation and creativity. And then she empowers the team members and leads us by example. She ignites passion and commitment and shared goals. And I have another person. I really, really admire him. His Sir Francis Kong. And we haven't met personally. We've met online. But if you ask for his help, he will be there. I know that you've met him as well. So there are two individuals here in the Philippines that I really look up to.
Yeah.
And if you work with them, it's really good because I was able to shortly work with Sir Francis Kong when the top 100 during the 2021 top 100 Philippines of top 100 Filipino on LinkedIn um, Filipinos on LinkedIn on during the 2021 activity. I was able to ask for his help and he was there to assist us. And then I'm an old soul. So it's basically also Sun Tzu. I hope I pronounced that well. So it
Mhm.
was about his adaptability. He's really an effective leader, very flexible in terms of the tactics and strategies, which I really want to learn because it's really a challenge with regards to strategies. And then I like him because of his continuous learning. And we, as learners, HROD practitioners, and leaders, we need to continuously learn,
True.
study and learn, and then push whatever it is that's in front of us. Meaning, now that we have artificial intelligence, we need to learn that as well. And then the very most important thing would be understanding the team. So I kept on going back to Sun Tzu and studying that part. Still, I'm learning. I'm learning the things that I need to learn because as we grow older and as we move forward, I see the difference with regard to the generation. So understanding the team is really really important. There are people who would treat you well, and there are people who would treat you like you don't exist, and there are people who would treat you like trash. But it's really up to you as a leader and how you're gonna manage it. So that's it. I think I'm talking a lot. Go ahead, Narlen.
Wow, thank you so much. Actually, I really appreciate that you did not just identify who your influencers are, but the reason why you actually chose them or you look up to them, right? And I really love what you've said about Virginia. I mean, I've known Virginia for quite some time as well on LinkedIn. I've been following her. I didn't quite understand initially, like what is she doing actually, but um it's good to know from you, like, I mean, when I met you and the rest of the volunteers who's been continuing her legacy, I mean, not her legacy, the work that she has been doing while she's like recovering from
Yeah.
her condition right now. I mean, it's been really inspirational how she not only motivates and like expect exceptional results as you've mentioned, but also like lifting up people
Yeah.
from around the globe, like with the work that she does, right?
Mhm.
So thank you to Virginia as well, and of course to the team who's been continuing the work that Miss Virginia has started as well.
Yeah.
And of course, you know that I've met Francis as well. So
Yeah.
I'm really like so thankful and humbled for having him in my show, in this interview as well. He's very insightful, and again, like what you've mentioned, very helpful, very supportive despite his busy schedule and the status that he has,
Yes.
at this time, like in the Philippines,
Agree.
like a very well known um, well-known leadership speaker, trainer, consultant, right, in that space, and yet, and business owner, I would say, and an
Yes.
entrepreneur as well, all at the same time, right? But he's very humble, right? And
Very,
he's
very humble.
always like very willing to serve others as well, help others, like what you've mentioned. So, hi to to Sir Francis
Hi,
Kong
Sir
as well.
Francis.
And then, how do you pronounce this? Sun Chu? You said Sun Chu,
Yeah,
right?
I hope I pronounced it well.
I'm also not good with Chinese, so please forgive us if we have pronounced it, not in the best way, but we're trying. So
Yeah, we're
again,
trying.
yeah, and then I really like what you've said, because the summary of what you said is generally the quote that I have also written in the in the past, that adaptability, continuous learning, but my last one is empowering others are keys to ace leadership. So it's
Agree.
such an acronym, right? ACE. So, but generally, like empowering others is, before you can do that, of course, you have to understand the team, and you raised a very important point that it's really like a challenge to do that,
It
right?
is.
Because that's the very interesting of working with humans, right? Like there's always diversity, different perspective, and we put, sometimes the meaning that we put on the things or the experience we have are different as well, as aside from, of course, the different personality. So it's an, I would say, a continuous effort that we need to do, right?
It is a
To
continuous effort.
understand
I agree.
our team, right? To understand our team, to know how to speak with them, to communicate with them, and to like inspire them to do more, and to see the full potential, and make use of it, right? So I really appreciate all these inputs from you. So, I mean, in my introduction as well, I made mention about the next normal. You can call it probably post pandemic, or I mean,
Yeah.
like ever since we've been like facing challenges, or
Hmm.
even like crisis, even in the past, right?
Yeah.
So, but whether it's a crisis, a pandemic, or whatnot, right? Leaders do face several challenges in the work that they do. After all, it's a journey, right? So,
It is.
from your experience as a corporate leader before, and now working with a lot of leaders, I mean, globally nowadays because of LinkedIn as well, right? So, what would you say would be the top three problems that leaders do normally face?
Mhm. The first one would be communication. That
Mm.
one is very important. We
Yes.
really need to communicate. So, written in the written form, it's quite stiff,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of times you would hurt the person.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's really good if you do it on an e-meeting because you see the facial expression of the person,
Mm-hmm.
or it would be better if you do it face to face if that is even possible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's one, communication. Another one would be how would you call this, the decision making on how you're going to do a task, finish a task, and then what do you do with the person or with the communication that you're going um, to share
Mm-hmm.
with an individual or with the leader, for example.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge that I have is that I'm dealing with all the leaders in the Philippines. For that matter, that would be the top 100. So I go to
Mm-hmm.
them one by one. The most influential women are easier to speak with. The
Wow.
men are really challenging. Yeah. Um, I like to deal with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what's very, very important is also the emotional intelligence. What is the state of the person when you speak with him or her? So with women, it's easier, but you have to balance it because
Mhm.
there are people who doesn't really like you, and you don't have to ask them to like you. That's really not something that we ask, right? We cannot tell them, oh, you should like me. No, 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 that doesn't happen. The Filipinos, the Filipino women right now are very strong, which is very,
Mhm.
very good. I like that the women leaders would speak, would tell you what they want.
Mhm.
However, you would see the how emotionally intelligent they are when they walk, when they deal with you in front
Mhm.
of you, especially
Mhm.
when you're eating together. I've seen that already. And there are women leaders who would um there are snobs. I think that's part of it. Probably they're so busy and they would
Mhm.
ask you, okay, you talk to my secretary. And I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I'm gonna talk with your secretary. Um, well, at least they tell you what they want and they tell you
Mhm.
there are directions that you need to do. But
Mhm.
the part of it, like, um, if they can speak with you at least for 1 minute and tell you that I'm sorry, I am busy. Can you please um the top problems would be dealing with them on
Mhm.
how you tell them that
Mhm.
there are things that uh, if you can communicate it properly.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's one. So communication,
Mhm.
communicating the words properly. I think
Mhm.
because if you're a CEO, you're so busy, so it's hard to communicate the words properly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, they want it short and simple. So even writing, it's really short and simple.
Mhm.
Another one would be if they decide right now, and
Mhm.
they do not. So the part of the emotional intelligence doesn't come in because they
Mhm.
just decide, okay, let's do this now, without thinking about the part we're in. Oh my, what would my employees think about this? And what
Mhm.
would this person think about it?
Mhm.
No emotions at all. So if you would look at it, the problems are there already.
Mhm.
And you would see that it's hard because we women, we would talk a lot. The reason why we talk a lot because we want to communicate.
Mhm.
And the communication, if there's a breakdown in the communication, it's really gonna be a problem. Well,
Mhm.
yes, it happens at home. It can be repaired at home. But if we're in the office, if we can do or repair that, that would be better. And if it can be done on an e-meeting like this,
Mhm.
it will also be very good. However, we have too much, so many e-meetings. That's why there's also a breakdown of communication because everybody also gets tired of having e-meetings.
Mhm.
Um, have I answered all your questions?
Yes, you've actually mentioned two so far, communication skills or lack of communication skills for that matter. And then you've mentioned the lack of emotional intelligence as well, um, especially in the decision making process. And do you have any other things
uh,
that you'd like to share
that
as like the top three problems?
I think those are the two things that are very important to me.
Exactly.
I cannot add anything more because it really encompasses everything that's happening
Mm-hmm.
face to face and also online, and also when you're writing it.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
Thank you. And again, I mean, it's not the first time I've heard this. Like more and more, we hear about the challenges in communications. In fact, in the last two interviews I also had, like, that's what they highlight. I mean, the challenge around communication, and I'm not surprised because there are a lot of statistics and studies as well that shows that. Uh, One of the challenge that most leaders do face is really around communications, and that goes back to your input earlier on your influencer about understanding the team, right?
Yeah.
Because when you understand your team, you know what kind of profile they have, then like what Ekon said in the training that we had in Boracay with Alta Brisa 2 weeks ago. He said like, communications is not really about just understanding of the personality of the
Agree.
person,
Yeah.
but it's really so much more of communicating the way they want
Yes.
to be communicated to, right? Or the way they want to be treated as well, right? Because last time we always hear like do and say things the way you wanted other people to do unto you, or don't do things that you don't want other people to do unto you, right? But it's really an aha moment for me when he said like, treat people how they want to be treated. And that's the same with communication
Agree.
as well,
Mhm.
right? So you communicate with them based on how they will understand or how their personality is, right? And of course that also like involves emotional intelligence for you to be able to communicate as effective as possible. It's really having that intelligence around emotions. As you know, humans, you cannot take that away from humans, to be
Agree.
exact,
You
right?
cannot take away that part.
Yeah. So that's what actually differentiates us to with robots, AI, and all those technology, right? It's really the emotions that we have, which those technology, those robots, those AI do not have at all, right? I just attended an AI course where
Oh,
they
that's
said
nice.
like, they said like, there's also like some um disadvantage or lacks that that AI do not have. That's really so much around emotions because they don't have that, right? So those are some of the interesting things, or like things that we have as human, right? That's what differentiates us to the technology, and that's the reason why it has to be like working hand on hand, right? You can't just depend on technology at altogether, and you cannot just and it's really about us leveraging on that as well, right? So thank you so much for like elaborating that as well with us. And of course we will not leave them with the problems, and we want to give or share with them. So, having said that, what will be the important leadership skills that they must have in order to continue to lead effectively, right?
I think we'll go back to what Sun Tzu said,
Mm,
that it's really very important. I'm going back to the three things that I said a while
mm,
ago:
mm, mm,
adaptability, continuous learning, understanding the team. You really have to be adaptable nowadays with what's happening because of what we have been through with the pandemic. And we're still in the pandemic. Who hasn't announced that we're out of it? So we need to adapt on what our environment is. And like what you said, you went to the AI training or conference.
mm,
So we really need to continuously learn and
true.
study and be there and get courses, whether it's free or paid. We
Mm-hmm,
have to do that. And we also need to teach. So that's part of adaptability. We don't only learn, we also teach other people, like what we're doing right now.
mm-hmm,
And we're hoping that we're also teaching other people who's listening to us or probably who's going on a team replay later on. And
yeah.
then another thing would be understanding the team. This is also a skill that I really am still in the process of
Mm-hmm,
doing and learning because it's not easy. The generation that we had when I was younger was different. There was no computer, nothing. It was a typewriter and everything else. Now we have AI. But I love AI. They're my research assistant. Thanks to ChatGPT, Bard, and Bing. They're really helping me make the work faster and even easier. And it really helps in terms of communicating with people as well. However, they're not accurate. They help you do the task,
Mm-mm.
But there's a part that we need to do the continuous learning in
Mm-hmm.
order for us to be emotionally intelligent. I am talking about it, but I would not say I'm very, very good at it. I'm in the process of learning it. And if it takes me to my 60th year to study, to learn that, that will be good. But what's important is that we're on the path of working on it,
Mm-hmm.
doing it. So that's going to be very, very good. So the three things that I said about Sun Tzu
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
are really also part of the skills that would really help us as leaders, and that would help us also as leaders inside our family,
Mm-hmm.
inside the workforce, and also the community where we are in. Like right now, I have to adapt to the 100 women and to the 100 men and women of the top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn. And I have to learn with them. I have to keep up with them. A lot of them are young individuals and not so old, but very brilliant individuals. And I'm so happy that they're very brilliant because I get to learn from them. And I am going back to the understanding the team. You
Mm-hmm.
understand the dynamics. The women does this, the men does this, but you can't say that that's the only thing that they do. So there you go.
Oh, I really love how you actually explained all these 3 points because I really resonate a lot. I mean, that's what I also advocate with whenever I talk or whenever I communicate with others. Really, it's so much around adaptability, continuous learning, and really around understanding everyone around you, right? I know you're so humble to share like but this I mean the experience that you have, right? And it's really part of the journey. I mean, learning is a continuous effort, whether you're meeting like young people. That's why we have to take every opportunity that we have to learn from anyone, from
Yeah,
everyone at any time.
agree.
So because for sure, like even with the like I mean the age, you know that I have three children, and the gaps of the ages of my three children, 3, 6, 17. Imagine that, like, so they have different needs, they have different personalities despite they're from the same parents, but they are different, right? And
Yeah.
at the different phase that they are in, like they respond differently as well. And so like even from a 3-year old you will learn something, right?
Yes. Agree.
Just last night, like we're having some issue with our air condition, and it's dripping. And then my 3-year old was just enjoyingly like, I want to take a shower from this drip. So like if you can learn to like take things lightly, like as
Yes,
a
I
child,
agree.
right? Like instead of like, oh my gosh, I have a problem with my aircon, and him like here like smiling and
Enjoying and wants to take a
he
shower.
wants to take a shower on that. So that kind of thing as well. It's something that you want to learn from even young children as well, because sometimes when we face challenges, right, we tend to like forget to enjoy life as we have to have that balance still.
Balance. Yes, the balance. Yeah.
Exactly, as we continue to learn and deal with the challenges that we face, because at the end of the day that brings us to or help us to that awareness, and to that courageous and stronger version of us in the
Yeah.
future as well,
I
right?
like that words. The stronger version of us.
Yeah, so that's how it is. I mean, if you're a continuous learner, you just always like work on yourself. Like, I actually saw this post on LinkedIn recently, and it says like, not because the performance or result is not as good as before, that doesn't mean that, oh, that's from Adam Grant. And then it doesn't mean that, people are not doing their best, right? Everyone is trying to do their best at a certain point, but crisis happens as well. Or it's really about like how are you dealing with turbulences that you actually face, right? So and that requires again all the three things that you have summarized earlier, um, on the important skills. So that leads me to my last question, Miss Bless. This is a very interesting question, which I would normally say a Miss Universe question, a
Okay.
very open question. And so I'm curious to know, if you have a magic wand and can use it, what will you do with it?
Okay. We are hoping if I have a magic wand, that will be generating an income from whatever it is that we're doing, because it's important that we also have something on our pockets and would
Mm-hmm,
help us continue what we're doing.
mm-hmm,
The volunteer work is very good. It really
mm-hmm,
lights you up and lifts you up. But it's also very good if there's
mm-hmm,
also it generates income, or
mm-hmm,
it will help you fund, let's say, what we're doing. Okay.
mm-hmm,
I know that we're doing both podcasting and live streaming.
mm-hmm,
And it's very important that this generates money for us so that we can keep doing what we're doing. So we
mm-hmm.
can pay the bills, the StreamYard, the Zoom, whatever it is, the internet that we're using, the electricity that we're using. This is a practical part, okay? Not
Mm-hmm,
only that, it also helps because when we're able to do this, we can give more.
mm-hmm,
We're going to be able to share more of us if we're able to generate income from it. And it's going to be good, let's say, for YouTube to be monetized as well, because it will help the one who's doing the task happy as well. Okay. I'm not asking for a lot, but $1 billion would do. It's a joke. But what I'm saying is that it's gonna be good for those who are working like us, doing voluntary work and being paid by clients. We get paid clients who would help us continue the work that we do.
mm-hmm,
It will be good because it's going to give us comfortable lifestyle.
mm-hmm,
And if we do have comfortable lifestyle, we can give more to the community. That goes for the LinkedIn community, that goes for the community where we are in on earth. And then whatever it is, we're also going to be positive catalyst of change.
mm-hmm,
If this is the littlest thing that we can do to change the world, or to change the community, or to help each other, and to continue building communities, and
mm-hmm.
then um, advocating a lot of things for each other, and then continuously learn together and help each other, I think it's going to be a better world for each one of us.
I totally agree with you. And hopefully we can, do something together to make
Yeah.
that happen, right? We have some plans already. Hopefully we push that through. And again, like it's really about sustainability. We know we love what we're doing and willing to do that
Yes.
even we're not getting paid, right? Or
Yeah.
even on our own profit. But again, like if these conversations inspire at least one person, then that will be very fulfilling for us, right? But again, like what you've said, if we were to like generate like an income out of this, or like something out of this conversation, right? I mean, that would mean a lot because we can do more. We can
Yeah.
do
It's
more,
really
right?
about doing more. Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be like more sustainable for us to run and do more for the community, not only for ourselves, for family, or even the organizations that we work with, but also to more to get to reach to more people moving forward as well. So thank you so much for that. Is there any other additional messages that you'd like to leave our audience with before we end this conversation?
Probably it would be, if we help each other,
Mm-hmm.
I think we would be able to have a better community, a better world.
Mm-hmm.
And please do reach out to us, because
Mm-hmm.
we really want to continue what we're doing. And we're hoping that there would be somebody out there who would say, okay, I can be your sponsor. We'll take care of that. We'll take care of your needs. That would be so awesome, especially for the community, the most influential women,
Mm-hmm.
for the top 100 Filipinos on LinkedIn. And for also, I'm, because we're going to have, in December, we're planning something for the kids in Baseco.
Mm-hmm.
We really need help in terms of assisting the kids.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, we're also hoping that we can also assist Miss Virginia Bautista with her medical needs so that she can recover faster. So we're saying that probably in 2024 or
Mm-hmm.
2025, she'll be back with us. If we can do that, then I think we'll have more energy and we'll have more passion. We'll create more synergy, um, and love for each other. So ano it's more of sharing talaga. I'm nearing my senior year, and what I want to do would be to give back already.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a lot, but if you give back, there's more that comes back to you. So when somebody asks me, what you get from what you're doing? Um, the money would be good, but it helps your spirit. It helps my soul. So it really gives me a lot of energy. So for the people out there who wants to sponsor Miss Len and I and the project that we're gonna do in 2024, we would be very, very happy to do the project with you guys. And that's it. We love our families, and we love the LinkedIn community, and we love the Philippines. As cliche as it sounds. There you go.
Thank you for that wonderful message. And again, thank you for all the effort that you have been doing for on LinkedIn for the community that we have on the 100 top LinkedIn. What's that? 100 most
Most influential,
influential
yeah.
women on LinkedIn. Plus now you're working on the 100 top leaders on LinkedIn as well, right? So thank you for all the effort that you have been doing again. And of course, it again, those who are listening to us, yeah, please feel free to connect with us if you'd like to sponsor similar activities around learning, leadership, transformation, or even around the space of like creating more like valuable or educational content
Yeah.
like this, right? We intend to do like something like a summit
Yes.
next year, and hopefully we can get your support if you have any specific topic, any request other than networking and program speakers and uh, suggestions, in order for it to be a win-win for you. Feel free to connect with either me or Bless on that. So, and we look forward to like collaborating with you all. So with that, thank you so much, Miss Bless, for your insights, for
You.
your all your efforts that you have been doing, and for like having this meaningful conversation today. And of course, thank you for those who are watching us live, even if we don't see you, or for those who will be watching us on a replay. Feel free to share with us if you have any additional question, if you have any takeaways that or aha moments from this conversation, and remember that we can all create an opportunity to have um, to create a better world to live in,
Yes.
right? So, and always remember that even the richest investors in the world would say that investing in yourself is the best investment that you can ever make in your life. And with that, we would like to leave you with this quote that if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, and do more, then you are an excellent leader. Thank you so much, Miss Bless, and
Thank
thank you,
you, Miss
everyone.
Len.
Have a good
Bye.
day. Bye.